I'm going to go over the for each loop, which is a special loop in Java used for traversing lists. So we have here an array called list, populated with these values. We're actually only using up through the 6th position. That's why we have this variable last element position to keep track of how much of the array we're actually using. But for looking at the for each loop, we can ignore that. So because traversing through all the elements of lists is such a common thing to do, Java provides this special loop for doing that. And it works like this. You write the word for, and then you specify what type the list is, what type of elements the list contains. In this case, it's a list of ints. You specify a variable. You can supply any variable name you want here. And this variable will, one at a time, hold a copy of each element in the list. So it will first, in this case, n will first be equal to 32, then it will be equal to 45, then 61, 89, 20, etc. Right? And here you're specifying which array or which list that you're working with. Right? So the type of element that's stored in the list, a variable that you supply that will one at a time hold a copy of each element in that list, and then the actual name of the list that you're working with. In this case, it happens to be list. Okay? So within this loop, n will just hold each time it loops, and will hold a copy of the element that it's up to. So if we run this, it's going to output 32, 45, 69, whatever, because n will take each of those values in turn. Now, we could say something like, if we wanted to here, say we were looking for a particular value, we could say here if n equals 89, let's move this after the print statement. If n equals 89, then we could say let's say we want to just say we found right? This doesn't make any sense, but I mean, it doesn't. But that's, and then we could do a break here. And what the break would do is it would end the for each loop, right? And it wouldn't output anymore. So if we compile this and we traversing list with for each loop, and it outputs the 32 because, let's open that up, because n is first made equal to 32, then 45, 61, 89, and when n is equal to 89, we do that found 89 and we break, and therefore it doesn't, the loop exits and it doesn't go through and set n equal to any of these other values. Okay? So you can use break whenever you want to exit a loop, right? Or we could have, another way we could have exited this is just to return, and that would have exited the method. Either one would work in this case. Break exits the loop, return exits the method. Okay. Important to remember that n is, changing n it has no effect on the values stored in the array. N is a copy of each of the values in the array. So changing the copy does not change the original values in the array. All right? So that's it for the for each loop. It's a good loop to use when you know you want to just traverse through the list. Notice that you don't have any information within the loop about where you are in the loop in terms of the index position. So I could not say here where 89 was found, what position, what index position it had. For each loop won't give you that because it's just making a temporary variable equal to each element in the array sequentially. Okay, the for each loop.